Welcome back. We're inside the chicken run again. It's a nice rainy day. I'm sure you guys can hear it. Dark and rainy fall day. But we have another fun, exciting video for you guys. This is week 13 of ranking all of our chicken breeds, and this one's a good one. So let's get right into it. Before I reveal which breed we're doing today, I want to talk a little bit about the categories that we use to determine our final rankings. So we have 4 different categories, all out of 5, to give us a final ranking out of 20. And the first category is eggs. And that's going to be egg size, egg quantity, egg color, anything to do with eggs. That's the first category. The second is broodiness. So how often is that chicken wanting to be a mother and sit and hatch out eggs rather than lay more eggs. And then the third is friendliness, and that's going to be friendliness to humans and friendliness to the other chickens in the flock. How well do they get along with everybody? We have a very diverse flocks of all different shapes and sizes and colors. So how well do they get along with the others? And then the fourth category and last category is a completely subjective category of cuteness. So how cute is the chicken, and anything else unique about the chicken that I want to throw in there, kind of like a catch-all of what's unique about them and how they are and how they interact with us, with the flock, and physical characteristics of how cute they are. And all in all, total up each category out of 5 for a total out of 20, give us our rankings, and we compare each ranking every week with all the previous chickens that we've done to get a final ranking, how they stack up in our flock. And we're going to continue to do this for 26 weeks, and we'll have a whole ranking of 1 through 26 so you guys can see how our chickens stack up for us and see which chickens you might be interested in getting. So without further ado, this week we are ranking Ursula, the Bantam Green Queen. You can see right here, she's one of my little buddies. Every time I come out here to the chicken yard, this is the gate into the chicken yard, and she likes to fly up here. You can see all her little dirty footprints, and she's taught some other girls to fly up here. But choice comes up, gets first choice out of the bucket. The treats, come say hi to me, and gets a little extra special treatment. So she's been my little friend. But anyway, a little bit about the Bantam Green Queen is that she is a Bantam, meaning that she's smaller in stature than a standard girl. So we have a mixed flock here. You can see the smaller girls, like the Silkies down there, are Bantams, and then standard girls are all the bigger girls here. So that's the Bantam part of her name, and then the other part is Green Queen, which, if you've seen our other video where we ranked Quinn, right there, the big gray one, she is also a Green Queen, but she's a standard Green Queen. So you can see the size difference between Ursula right here, Quinn back there. But basically a Green Queen is a hybrid bird that can look like anything. So something that's interesting is that Bantam Green Queen, standard Green Queen, they're the exact same coloration. And the reason that's interesting is because they're hybrids, so they can look, like I said, like anything. They could look like any of these colorations, because all it is a tan egg layer mixed with a blue egg layer. So in theory, when you're breeding them, or when Meyer Hatchery breeds them, the goal is to get a green egg layer. And the way you do that is from a brown egg layer and a blue egg layer. Then you get the green egg if they have both the blue egg laying gene and the brown, because then you have a blue egg shell that the brown gets laid on top, turns into a green egg. And so like olive eggers are a blue egg layer with a dark brown egg layer, and so then more brown pigment gives you the deeper green olive egg. But for these Green Queens, it's just a light tan egg layer with a blue egg layer to give you a light green egg. Which Quinn, she lays a very pretty one, pretty green egg. And then Ursula, we'll talk about hers when we get into the different categories. But so I say all that to say, it's basically the like if you think of a dog like a mutt, it's essentially a mutt. It's kind of like a designer because to get the colorful egg, but it is just crossbreeding. And depending on what chickens you breed in there, like depending on which brown egg layers you use, blue egg layers you use, they're gonna have different characteristics. But for ours, the Bantam and the Standard, they're almost the exact same except for small. Like they both are blue, which is that gray color, and they both have feathered legs. Ursula has more feathers than Quinn does. They both have little pea combs and muffs as well, the feathers underneath their face. So essentially, like I keep saying, she is just a smaller version of Quinn, which is pretty cool. Because out of all the possibilities, Quinn could have been any color, Ursula could have been any color, and they both ended up being blue and almost exactly the same, just a miniature version of each other. And if you did see the other videos, you see that Quinn ranked pretty high. I think she is number 2 at the moment here in week 13. So let's talk a little bit about the rankings for Ursula here and see where she ends up. For eggs, Ursula is a really good egg layer. One of our best Bantam egg layers, and she lays probably 4 to 5 times a week. And when we got her in the batch with our first other Bantams, and she came with Kathleen right here, which is a Bantam Easter egger. And so the goal was, when we got them, we thought Kathleen would lay a blue egg because she's an Easter egger and they can lay any color, and Ursula would lay a green egg because she's a green queen, and that would give us a blue egg and a green egg in our Bantam eggs, because we keep them separate because the Bantam eggs are smaller than the standard size eggs, just to keep them organized. And so we had different colors for the standards, but we wanted different colors for the Bantam, so that's why we ended up adding one of each of those. And funny enough, Kathleen lays a green egg and Ursula lays a blue egg. So it's still a colored egg, which is great because ideally that's what we wanted, and we still did get one of each with Kathleen and Ursula. But Ursula herself lays blue instead of green, which is green is what we got her for and what it was desired for. But all in all, it worked out. Still a colored egg, which is nice. And then she is body size, like thickness, one of our bigger Bantams. I think that like the Silkies are pretty stocky as well, but she is just overall one of the bigger ones, which is also interesting because Quinn, the standard green queen, is one of our biggest standard hens. Ursula is our biggest Bantam as a Bantam, is a Bantam green queen. So another similarity between them two. But that being said, she lays our biggest Bantam egg because she is the biggest. So that's also really nice. So she lays a lot of them. It's a nice blue color, and she lays the biggest, which is almost, I mean, it's actually probably comparable to the size of one our smaller standard size layers. So sometimes she gets put up with the standard size layers, especially if we're trying to like fill up a carton of eggs to give or sell to people. She will get included in there because they're pretty good size. So with all that said, ranking for eggs, I would give her a 4.5. The reason the half point off is just because she doesn't lay the color egg that we expected and that we bought her for. But still colored egg, still good egg layer, still a lot of eggs, big eggs. So we'll give her that solid 4.5 out of 5 there for eggs. And then broodiness. Quinn was pretty broody as a green queen. She's really broody. But for Ursula, she hasn't been as broody. She's a little over 2 years old and has only been broody one time, and it wasn't, I wouldn't say it was like a strong broody. Like we've had some girls that it takes several weeks to break them. Her, I think she probably lasted about a week and then finally gave up. So one time out of her life, and it wasn't a super strong broody, so I'm not going to give her the 1 of not being broody, and I'm not going to give her a super high score because she didn't seem that committed. So I give her a 2 out of 5 for broodiness. Like I said, has been broody before, but wasn't super inclined to it and hasn't been super inclined to it. So 2 out of 5 there. And then friendliness, as you saw at the beginning of the video when I started talking about her, she's one of my buddies out here. He always wants to be the first one to say hi, first one to get dibs on the treats. When I was building this run here, which is the extension to the original run, she was on my ladder helping me. She was crawling on the top when there was no ceiling. She was up in my face, being super friendly and curious. That's like one thing. She's very friendly, but also I think more curious than anything. She's always wants to be in whatever's going on, to see what's going on, doesn't want to miss out, wants to investigate. Almost kind of like a cat. If you have, I mean, I don't know. Our cats are super curious. I don't know about other people's as much, but our guys are always in everything. We move something in the house, they're like, what's going on? We got to see that. And that's kind of how she is out here. If anything new, like when I was building, or I come out here with, I don't know, I'm filling up the water or filling up the feeder, she's like right near me trying to figure out what's going on, trying to investigate, see if she can get anything from it. So super friendly with me. She's also super friendly in the flock. She blends in quite well. Like I said, she's our biggest Bantam, so she doesn't have any problem handling her own with the standards. She's actually Kathleen right there, the Bantam Easter egger. Kind of thinks she's a rooster sometimes and likes to mount Ursula, because Ursula is like her favorite best friend. So she just lets her do it. So she's super forgiving to everyone out here, super friendly with us. So I think I would give her a perfect 5 out of 5. You can't ask for anything more as far as personality with humans or in the flock. Just a great chicken to have around. And that leaves us for our last category, which is cuteness. She's a Bantam, which by nature are cute just because they're smaller. And then she has those feathered feet down there, which are very cute. She has the muffs as well, and underneath her chin, which is cute as well. Personality is super cute. Like I said, she's very outgoing, so that's just gonna give her a bump as well. She's one of my little friends out here. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about her. She's great. No complaints. She's a hybrid, so you can't always expect that you're gonna get the same result. Like if I ordered 5 Green Queen Bantams, they would all probably look different, and their personalities could vary as well because they're a hybrid. But I think it's pretty nice. We've had the standard and the Bantam, and they've both been super friendly, so, and super outgoing and great. So like I said, she's a hybrid, so you can't bank on the fact that if you ordered more of them that they would all be the same. But her personally has been super cute, super adorable, super friendly. So I think I would give her a 4.9 out of 5. The reason she's not getting a total top score is just because she is just like an all blue bird. There's nothing really interesting about her appearance. I mean, short of the feathered feet, which are kind of cute. But in our flock, we have a lot of blue birds, and sometimes she can kind of blend in. She's the smallest of them, but she can blend in. Like Quinn here, Ursula back there. We got a lavender here, which is kind of blue. Agnes, and then we have Edith over there, which is another blue chicken. So she kind of blend in. So I'm not going to give her a perfect score because she's not super varied like some of our other chickens with unique patterns or things like that. But she is super friendly and outgoing. And I mean, that little face is so cute. So I'll give her 4.9 out of 5, which brings her overall score to this. And when you put that up in our rankings, our updated rankings, out of the 13 that we've done, it puts her right here at spot number 4, which is pretty high, all things considered. And we have 26 weeks total, so we're about halfway through. Yeah, halfway through. So another 13 to go. Stick around. We have a lot of these other breeds to do still, and maybe your favorite's coming up. So stick around, continue to watch, come back, and thanks for the support, and until next time, for Ursula herself, stay Pyrfect.